Hester and I have the privilege of representing Reverend Kirbyjon Caldwell. As most of you know, Reverend Caldwell has been a spiritual force in this city, in this state, in this country for 30 years. He has been spiritual advisor to not only President George W. Bush, but to President Obama. These charges are false. If any person deserves the presumption of innocence, it's that man right there. He has helped and developed a whole community in Windsor Village. He is a man of great compassion, of great strength, and of great courage. He has his family, his faith, and his God to rely upon. He places his faith in the judicial system, but let me just tell you something. At no time did he conspire to commit a crime with anyone. At no time did he make a false statement or knowingly made a false statement. At no time did he try to cheat anyone. Indeed, every person that invested in these bonds, that has asked for their money back, has gotten their money back. Let me say that again. Every single person that has asked for their money back has gotten it back. I'm going to turn it over to Reverend Caldwell for a few questions. We're not going to get in the weeds. We're not going to answer any detailed questions. We're simply here to tell you he is absolutely 100% not guilty. As I said earlier, I plan on beating this case like a rented mule. We're going to get there. Go ahead. A few questions?
How do you know, Pastor, this co-conspirator that's named with you, this financial advisor, how do you know him?
You can go and generally answer that.
I was introduced to him by a common colleague.
And were any of the investors church members?
Not to my line, no. This all started in Miami. In fact, when the process began, I did not even know any of the investors.
I don't know if the rest of you could hear Lynn's question or not, but he asked if any of the investors were church members, and that they were not.
Yeah. So since once the process began, I met some of the investors, but I did not bring any of them into the deal. And let me just say this, well, first of all, thank you very much for coming. Thank the press for coming. Thank Brother Caldwell for representing me. I know we've been involved in the community now for over 30 years, have added a lot of value, spiritually, economically, and otherwise, and everything was done decently and in order. And I fully expect the process to continue. These bonds are legitimate. The process is legitimate. I fully maintain that the accusation is baseless, and I hold evidence in my hand to the authenticity and the legitimacy of the bonds.
If the bonds are legitimate,
right,
why did you have to return money?
Well, that's a very good question. It's been a process, and as is stated in the agreement with the investors, if at any point in time you become impatient with the process and you want your money back, I'll pay you money back, which I did in full. Everyone to date who has requested his or her money back has received their.
And how much money is that?
Oh, we're not going to get into detail, but a lot. Attorney may choose to answer that on my behalf.
He's returned almost $1 million.
And so why was the money returned? I want to be clear here. Was it because the promises made could not be met?
No, it was because the contract, if the investors were dissatisfied, they had the right to request their money back.
And why were they dissatisfied?
Because it was taking longer than they wanted, I suppose. But the point is, if they requested their money back, the money was returned.
Did anybody who was promised, according to the documents, a large return on their investment, did anybody get a return on their investment?
Go ahead.
They have not yet. Correct.
So you're saying that the bonds are still, it's ongoing, they're still investing and they could get a return at some point?
He still believes that the bonds will pay off. Absolutely does. And again, he invested more of his money than anybody else did.
Pastor, what was the goal in the investment opportunity?
The goal is to make people money.
Is that a common thing you've done over the years?
And to invest in the community. A lot of folk who are involved in this process are very interested in making substantial contributions to humanitarian projects. And in fact, just kidding on the table here if there's too much information. In fact, at the church, we
You're too big to kick.
celebrated this as the Ephesians 3:20 project, which would simply continue what we have begun. So it's a substantial humanitarian effort.
A few more questions?
So you guys talked about this at the church as an Ephesians project and bonds?
The benefits of it.
Again, he did not sell to church members.
Right.
He talked about investing the benefits of the bonds, once they paid off, back into the church.
Based on money that you invested? And how much of your own money did you invest?
A lot.
Million?
Millions?
Several $100,000.
Several $100,000.
A lot.
Did you get any return on your investment?
Not yet.
Do you expect to?
Yes, I do.
At what point?
Soon.
This has been 5 years. You have
Yes,
not seen a
yes, it
return.
has. But just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it won't happen.
Amen.
Good.